Well, now it's starting to look a little bit more like a holster, isn't it? Okay, the wet molding is dried. I gave it a couple days to do that. And now I'm going to start putting a finish on it. Start out with my, see if I can get that in there. Needs foot oil. Now the idea with the needs foot is that when you do all the dyeing and the wet molding and all that stuff, it tends to dry the leather a bit. So the needs foot, since basically it's oil that comes from a cow, helps to put the oils back in. I don't know if I need to shake it or not, but I do it anyway. All I do is put a little bit on a paper towel and then just wipe it on. Now, some people use needs foot as a finish in itself. But what I do is I go ahead and I wipe it on. And then just go back and wipe the excess off. Let me get that a little bit more in the camera. And I do that to both the front and the back. Now, needs foot never completely dries, but what it will do is absorb into the leather and put some of that moisture back. You don't need to put loads and loads on it. You don't need to drown the holster in it. Just a thin layer will do you. That's the thing, a lot of people, I hear about them say, oh no, don't use needs foot. It'll soften the leather. Not if you put just a thin coat on it. I just use another part of the paper towel and wipe off the excess. Now I'm going to leave that sit for a couple of days, at least one day. See if I can get it to buff up a little bit here. And then, well, like I said, I'm going to leave it sit for a day or two. And when I come back, I'm going to go ahead and put our top coat on it. It'll give it time to absorb into the leather. And that will help to feed the leather so you have a nicer finished product. Well, I've given it a couple of days for the needs foot oil to soak in. Let me just adjust this a little bit. And now it's time to put a final top coat on this thing. I'm using tan coat, and what I'm going to do is put it on with a dauber and then wipe it off with a paper towel. Oh, excuse me. Well, not wipe it off, I should say wipe off the excess with a paper towel. Give it a nice thin even coat that'll protect the leather. Make sure I get it all over that stitch line. And then wipe it off. Well, like I said, wipe off the excess. Whoop, 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 whoop. Okay, let me continue that with the back. On all the stitch lines. Slipping off my hand. Okay, nice. Looks like a nice thin even coat. Now, after giving it just a, actually it feels like that's about enough. And go ahead and buff it. Just with a clean part of the same paper towel. And that'll bring the shine out. And give that a nice finish. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of this. The edges, inside the belt slots, and I'm going to put it on the stitch line on the inside as well. Because even though the inside pieces were already coated with the tan coat, the stitch line was done after that. So I want to make sure to get all those coated. And then I'm going to let it sit for a day or two. Basically what I'm going to do is take my clamp, put my mallet in it, and just set it like that and let it dry. And then we'll go ahead and send this thing out. Should be able to get this out by Monday. Then it's off to the next project. See you then. Here, one more look. Ah, ooh, ah. I might come back and do a final finished holster video. Well, I'm gonna get to work on it. See you soon. Okay, I gave it a couple hours to dry, and basically, that's pretty much it. Front, the back, the inside, and the other side. I am going to keep buffing it and working at it just to get that finish the way I like it. That's the thing, once you put the top coat on it, then it starts to really look like something. It goes from being a conglomeration of bits and techniques to being a finished holster. But like I said, I'm going to give that a couple of days to dry completely, and then off it goes. Oop, oop, oop. Got a good friction fit there. There you go. Good retention, and comes out easy enough. And it has the 2 slots here. Now I'm thinking about making one for a J-frame snubby. Alright, now we'll see you next time when we start our next project. or have some kind of silliness or something.